Thank you so much for coming this morning. I know that it's hot and all of that, and people are tired, but you're here to enjoy a great morning with us. Also, before I start everything else, I wanted to introduce to you, so I don't forget, Helen Burston, because I don't know how long she's staying with us. Helen is our candidate, Liberal candidate for Beaches East York provincial election. So I just want to make sure you stay with her. Welcome, Helen, and don't forget to, I know it's hot, but don't forget to work. We're still knocking on doors, right? Never stops. Okay. Never stops. Anyway, we're here today to have a little bit of we have a special guest, and we're very pleased in the riding right shortly after the election. As many of you, we've had a great, by the way, welcome. I'm glad for all of you coming to the last victory, I call it victory party. It was an appreciation party for our volunteers. We had a great fun. Those of you who didn't make it missed out on a great party. It was fantastic. Those of you who were there, I know you had a great time. That was just a couple of weeks ago. But we aren't finished. We're not, as I said at that party, and as I said on the election night, this was a crazy election. It was a bit of a tsunami, but it is not indicative of how this riding votes. It is not indicative of who we are and our strength here, and we're not letting up 1 inch to anybody else. We're taking this riding back, right? And so we're really glad to have, I should say also that our president, Sugumar Ganasan, is not here right now. He was here earlier, but Sugumar had to go to an appointment this morning he couldn't miss, so he gives his best, but he's not here just now. And I want to thank also Joanne Linton and Naheed Sharif, where's Naheed back there, who actually pretty much pulled this together this morning on a short notice. And also I want to thank Mr. Iqbal, where is he? Over there, for donating all the lovely food that you're eating this morning, and the coffee and the tea and everything else. And I think he's got some care package for our special guest this morning as well. So having done that, I want to say that I'm really pleased to have a special guest this morning. Some of you, to help us maintain the Liberal flag in this riding strong. Most of you, some of the young people may not remember or know much, but some of them have told me they've Googled. But I've heard people, and they know the history. But some of the people this morning have already told Justin that they remember when he was born. Yes. So he gets these, see, there you go, everybody. So he gets these stories all the time. And I know I've shared with him some of my own stories of his father. But we have with us today Justin Trudeau, who is who has, yes, a very strong, a name that carries a great deal of weight and a great deal of power, but also in his own right, as a member of Parliament, he has been a good colleague when we worked together in Ottawa. He is now a very strong, he was a critic of immigration for a while, and you know what, my mind is gone, I don't remember what critic you're in right now.
Youth, secondary education and sport.
Youth, secondary education, and sports. So he's the next generation. You see that it fits perfectly. The critics have changed recently for a while, but Justin has done a tremendous amount of work going across this country in the last 4 years, working with young people, trying to reviving and young Liberals across Canada to really kind of re-energize the party, and he's still doing it, as you can see, going across the country, and I see young people here with us today. So this is terrific, and he's done a tremendous amount of work. He continues to do a tremendous amount of work. The future of the party relies on the next generation of our politicians, men and women like Justin, and men and women that are in this room, young men and women who are going to be the future leaders of our country, and with a vision. Some of them were telling me we need to move on. What we did yesterday was great, meeting the last several decades, but now we need to look forward to the future and come up with a new vision, and that's true. And that's why I'm really so pleased to see the young people that are here with us this morning. Not to offend any of those of us who are a little older than young people. We're happy to be here too. But I'm not going to speak for you long. Yeah, that's right. It's the only. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking because I want Justin to have as much time as possible to share his thoughts with us, and then also to take some questions from all of you. So, Justin Trudeau. Before I say that, though, I'll have to tell you a little story. Justin. The very first time, and you guys will think this is funny, the very first time that I ever heard the name and met your dad was 2 blocks from my house. that was my very first canvass ever in the Liberal Party. I was asked to advance for Pierre Trudeau, who was canvassing in the middle of the '74 election. And I hit this door, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're telling everybody, good morning, sir, whatever, madam. You know, Mr. Trudeau, the Prime Minister, is on the street. He's coming to say hello, and they'd think I was crazy. Look down, see limousines, and they'd go crazy. But this one woman had rollers in her hair and a house coat, and she goes to me and goes, but my hair, but my coat, I got to change it. By the time she did the bubbas, your dad arrived, and so, and he's saying hello, and she's like, and he laughed. All the woman did was, her mouth was wide open the whole time. And she'll never forget the time Pierre Trudeau came to visit, and all she could do was, with her mouth. I mean, that was just a little story. Yeah.
Thank you, Maria. First things first, I've got to say, it's easy for everyone to gather together and celebrate after a win. But the fact that so many of you are here, so many of you remain strongly Liberal and present for Maria is really a huge credit, not just to all of you, but to the strength of the community leader you have in Maria. So let's give everyone a big round of applause. Maria, stand up. But also for all of you, because you resisted a trend, you resisted a temptation that unfortunately we're seeing an awful lot of right around the world right now in Western democracies, but a little bit everywhere. Of people picking to polarize themselves, choosing to take the easy path of not voting for something but voting against something. People define themselves being on the right or on the left, and they vote against what they are not. There's a culture of fear, there's a culture of extreme, there's a culture of contrasts, when the reality is Canada is not a country of contrasts, not a country that plays up its differences. And that's where the Liberal Party has its challenges. We're a party that, honestly, it's boring to be common sense. It's boring to say, well, we're going to take the smartest ideas from the left and we're going to take the smartest ideas from the right. We're going to put them together and build a society that, you know, that will be reward hard work but allow everyone for an opportunity to succeed and make sure that we get the future that we need to build. So much easier to say, oh no, it's their fault, we're voting against them. And that's what we saw in the last election. And we saw it because people were incredibly cynical about politics.